I think the #1 thing that Team Queso should be looking for is strong split pushers. They had that last game in the Roxy. I'd like to see them pick that up again. Maybe an Omen joining their side. Have some characters that can really pressure in the sidelines.
Yeah, that Roxy actually worked out for them on Yavix. And we know Yavix is a very aggressive split pusher. You know, he likes to even cut waves when he's super ahead. And I think what Qlash needs to work on is don't overextend. I think Red and Mowgli there are dying too early. They need to juggle aggro a little bit better, like how Team Queso does.
Qlash Spain, of course, as we mentioned, are on the blue. Team Queso on the red. First phase of bans have been completed. It is Kriknak and Tulin banned away by Qlash. Florentino and Elsu banned away by Queso, which leaves Deceive available, but that means Richter as well as Annette and Varus are alive if Queso so chooses.
Nice. I love Qlash taking away Sephora here because that is a key hero that they love to play on Team Queso side. It's going to open up potentially Richter, Ryoma, or they may just take the Annette and make sure Memorize gets his Annette here because Annette Sephora would be pretty punishing in the mid lane.
This Richter, however, would give a sideline answer to Team Queso, but I don't really like the Richter for them because he's not as good a split pusher. Richter wants to contribute to team fights, gank individuals. He doesn't really have that much tower pressure.
I also don't think that you're going to see or with that said, though, I don't think you're going to see a Varus, and we're proven correct.
Oh.
It is a Richter and Annette picked up for Team Queso. Liliana immediately locked in. So Qlash Spain now for 2 games in a row having the first phase lock themselves down in mid laner to ensure a better matchup for Zefta.
I love what Qlash is doing here. Denying Liliana, taking Sephora. They have basically taken all the mid and maybe forcing now Ruiz on that Kali, for example. And Team Queso is drafting well too. They know they need to get Annette on Memorize, so that's why they took it there. And taking away the Omen, like you said, TJ, they're denying a really strong split pusher on top lane for Team Queso. So far, Qlash is drafting this super well. I love their bans and their picks.
Yeah, I think Qlash have absolutely dominated this draft so far, particularly because Mowgli playing on the Sephora is such an aggressive support. You saw what he was able to do with Amina. I think this is going to be a really good fit for him, playing alongside the Liliana of Zefta, particularly with an Omen in the side lane to win out the battle versus Richter. Team Queso need to find an answer, and fast. A lot of that would be in poke damage, like this Kali offers.
And I think this is a huge first pickup as well for Queso, because as we know, remember, it's all about adaptations. In game #1, Qlash Spain hard focused the mid lane to ensure a bad matchup for Ruiz. Now, they get him on the Kali, they ensure that he gets something solid, and with slightly squishier characters such as Sephora, Liliana, and Omen, does create an opportunity for Team Queso and that Kali pickup.
Yeah, we know we're in our element, TJ, and we start predicting more than half the draft here, right? That Kali coming out, boom. It's going to be pretty good. It's going to be a super fun game here because we know Ruiz with Kali, you're going to have to watch how he pressures the front lane, and then Ibuchichi comes from behind to then cut off the runaway. And that is something, their signature sandwich movement that they do, and that's where Team Queso shines. Their macro play and rotations is what they have an advantage over Qlash. One thing about Sephora that I think is good for Mowgli is her Tide of Life will allow him to be that front line that allows him to bait the damage and basically get back to health and not die as fast. Exactly.
But the downside of it is that the Kali will force them to spend that Tide of Life early, and then they won't have it available for the team fights.
Well, flipping over now, we've got 3 marksmen banned away in the next phase of the draft. We've got Violet and Lindis, the junglers, taken away there from random, and now Talanis, the side lane, is taken away from Lelu as another option. Now, more could be decided. The Valheim, which we've seen him play before now.
We could see potentially a Morn pick from Team Queso here. There we go. Oh, as I said, they take it right away. They have to because they know Lelu plays that on the bot lane. That's where he shines. I love this draft so far. And then they can finish it off with a Ryoma potentially, or like a Zephy's for Ibuchichi. But they're going to deny it. They're going to take Zephy's away. This is Qlash doing their homework as well. And of course, the Joker into the Morin works out pretty decently, especially in the early game of the phase.
I wouldn't like the Wisp as much, though, because they don't really have too much of a front line to protect them. On the other hand, I suppose TQ don't have that much dive, so it may just work out. They're calling the bluff.
Yeah, but we've seen the difficulties before with teams not being able to pick themselves a solid frontliner and getting demolished by Akali and successful poke damage, which Ruiz, as we are well aware, has the capabilities to do so.
I'm keeping an eye on what Ibuchichi plays here for Team Queso. Because the Morin gives TQ that early and mid and late tower pressure I was asking them to add. But if they pull something out from the jungle as well that also can take out towers relatively quickly, I think TQ have turned the end of this draft around back in their favor.
I think Qlash has a good draft too, though, because think about it. Omen, Liliana, Sephira, and Zephyrs, they have AoE stuns. And you have Wisp with the huge shock and all. If they combo that together, that shock and all is going to destroy anything that gets AoE stunned. And I think that's a combo that Qlash has to execute.
What if this is a Wonder Woman? Ooh,
Ryoma, remember?
similar.
I call Ryoma, man.
All right, I apologize.
And that's going to be an interesting combo because we saw last week, Ryoma on Ibuchichi, he would come back and flank behind, and then Ruiz would basically Kali out in front, and then they would get sandwiched, and they would just kill whoever was under that tower. So Qlash needs to be very careful with that rotation that Team Queso would love to do.
And this gives kind of what I was calling for from the Wonder Woman. It gives them a little bit more frontline pressure to allow and sustain an engage from the Morin.
Yeah, random on Zephyrs there. How do you think that's going to turn out, TJ?
I think it's pretty dependent on how well he's able to engage. Late game, Random has occasionally struggled on those frontline characters. We saw him on the Wonder Woman kind of run into a brick wall where he gets to late game and all of a sudden he's not able to one-shot people anymore. And then there's trouble.
Yeah.
I want to also see, of course, we highlighted Knight being the X factor in the last game and coming into this roster being a new member. When he was on someone like a Crest, it was a lot easier in a lot of instances. Why? Because he was much capable of just hitting Metamorphosis and going in and being that front line. Now, he has to play a lot more methodical on the Omen. He can't just run in willy-nilly because he's not going to have all of the HP. He's not going to have all of the defenses. He's going to be building a little bit more for that split push style, especially considering the composition that they have. So I'm curious to see what Knight is going to be able to do with these new capabilities.
I didn't catch it. Is he 100% on the Omen?
Yes, he's on the Omen.
That's curious because that means he's in the top lane.
Yeah,
now, and they're
top lane,
switching.
switch.
Unless they switched it in the last like the last 2 seconds, he was sitting on that. He was sitting on that.
I hope you're right, because it confirms my theory that he feels uncomfortable on the ADCs, which is what I was saying might be a weakness of him as an addition to this team.
Yeah, so Wisp is going to probably win the early game against Morin because he has the extra attacks. He's going to clear that wave earlier. He can probably poke that Morin a little bit until Morin reaches into that late game stage. But as we know, both games got to late game last game, so both teams got to late game, and that's gonna be very dangerous to put Lelu on this Morin at Kali. They're two extreme, probably the most powerful ADCs and Mage in the late game.
I think you also have to look at Redemption because now Redemption is having to switch lanes as well. Clearly, they're doing it to help out Knight and make Knight a little bit more comfortable, but how comfortable is Redemption on those AD carries? And more importantly, how much more capable is he handling it when he's going against somebody like a Lelu who has done wonders thus far in the side lane?
I think this will be a good performance from both teams. I think if it goes late, TQ of the edge.
All right, well, Qlash Spain found themselves in a 24.5-minute game where they lost to Team Queso, but now the score has been reset, and it is time to get in for game number 2.
Yeah, so Qlash, do not let this get to the late game, and we saw Ruiz and Lelu especially shine. Those are the two targets they need to focus on in this match here, because Lelu and Ruiz, they just shine and scale so well into late game.
Knight up top, dueling Yavex. It's hard to say who's winning. I think everyone gets a little piece of blood.
I think they both trade each other, you know, trade some blows back and forth here and there. It'll be interesting to see the mid lane here. See Team Queso, Memorize always supports Ruiz here, so they give him, wow, he took it. So they always like to dominate mid lane and put extra pressure because of Memorize and what he does here with that Annette. They love these range support plays in the pressuring.
Memorized is such an aggressive support. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah, and his Annette is so good too. I can't wait to see these wind cuff combos that can come out potentially here. And I'm excited to also see Mowgli on the Sephira here because she is so strong in the early game and mid game.
And it lets him play very aggressive again. Random loses the trade. Ibuchichi will get the kill before falling.
Yeah, but they needed to get the first blood. That's the extra gold there. So that was a great play for Team Queso. Better trade for them, honestly, because they got the first blood there. And that one auto attack, I felt like he could have, you know, Random could have auto attacked a little sooner and get that first blood at least.
The full commit, Death from above, Death's flurry. And Ibuchichi wins due to his Wailing Blades.
Yeah, exactly. That Wailing Blade is huge there. But Yavex cutting the wave that, like we talked about earlier, he plays so aggressive in top, which allows him now to rotate and potentially try to get a gank or something. But Lelu getting so much pressure from the bot lane here from Red.
Lelu more than able to keep up with wave clear, but he's not going to be able to press out because of this. Now Zefta maybe in trouble. Hunter's mark from Yavex on his full rotate through. Gets a little bit of damage. No significant poke found though.
Yeah, and look at Whis there. He's doing a really good job just raining down damage, using that barrel roll to get them low. And look at this 4-man, 5-man rotation from Qlash here, trying to rush this dragon.
Yeah, Yavek's in the area. Ethereal Pulse from Ruiz pointed in the wrong direction.
No.
They were trying to grab Mowgli, but in the meantime, Ibuchichi's so low. Lelu's burned down. Redemption gets the kill. Yavex can't challenge this Abyssal. It'll go to Random and Qlash as Team Queso just must bail.
What a beautiful engage by Knight, Random, and Red there. You saw the Zephy's death from above, and then the shock and awe coming from Riz. That combo was so beautiful to watch. They get the kill, win that trade, get the dragon, and now Qlash looking good like they did last game. So now can they continue to keep this pressure and make the gold lead even bigger? Because that's one thing Team Queso was really good at, is keeping up with the gold deficit.
I'm curious as to Ruiz. Were they just planning on catching Mowgli out? Is that why his Ethereal Pulse was pointed 180 degrees away from the fight?
Yeah, I think he saw the dragon. He was really scared.
He just turned away reflexively.
Exactly. But again, that combo, that death from above and the Whis shock and awe combo, they executed that right there below the Dragon Pit, getting that kill there, the 3 versus 2 that we saw, which then gave them that advantage. So continue to watch out for that, because they have the early game. And look at that, wow.
Barrel bomb, shock and awe, stun from Mowgli.
That was
Ethereal
beautiful.
Pulse scares him back, but already.
That was a beautiful combo.
Yeah.
I mean, the barrel rose pretty slow. The fact he was able to land that against the wall like that and knows of the range of the barrel bomb, Red is pretty impressive on his Whis.
It takes confidence too, because the barrel... Oh,
Oh.
Mowgli, the poke in.
Oh.
Barrel bomb short this time, but it will mean Redemption's rewarded with a lot of tower damage. Half HP on it. Mowgli forced to spend the Tides of Life with a flicker to get him to safety. Redemption's still in trouble. Ibuchichi wants a full chase. Ethereal Pulse will be there. Redemption's very low, but Mowgli is there to body block them. Zefta as well. The team play.
Yeah, that was so crazy back and forth. No one falls from that too. I love the flicker from Red and then the loose cannon to just fly away to safety.
This should be a tower trade. Zefta down bottom. Looking for the clear. They've got the shock and all to do it. Nice in the meantime presses up top. Yavex will spend the Hunter's Mark and try and disengage.
Yes.
The Death's beckon. They've got him. The Death's void. A kill over. And the tower down bottom did fall, which means they must get the trade. But Qlash will do it.
At least they're trading now, and that was a beautiful 2 versus 1 there. And securing the kill was critical because that gives them the edge in that trade. They get a tower and a kill, while Team Queso only gets the tower, but they're going to try to rush this dragon here because they know they're falling behind.
Mowgli's in the area.
Wow.
Can't steal it. Random on the flank, looking for Ruiz. Death's void. Death from above won't be cast. Lelu and Ibuchichi instead are the targets as Mowgli and Redemption crash into the area. Look for these stun engages again.
Yeah, definitely a stun engagement. And that was a beautiful Kali out on the dragon there because it does 10% more damage to monsters. So Ruiz, and understanding the win condition of Kali and rushing the dragon in that manner was a very smart and quick, decisive play by Team Queso.
Relying on the extra damage that Ethereal Pulse does to monsters to confirm that Abyssal Dragon.
Yeah, definitely. Nice IQ plays here. I love both teams. They play so smart. Their rotations, their ganks, their abilities to combo with one another. These teams are both, I feel, pretty even in my mind, but it's going to come down to can Qlash take this game away right now in the mid game here? Because late game, Team Queso.
Oh, Lelu, Redemption, he's low. The Tides of Life give him the
Wow.
heal. Redemption safe.
The timing, but you can see there the knock-up and that stuns. The Red's got to be very careful. He's got to position more safely there because he was actually too far to the right, which allowed Team Queso to focus him down. If it wasn't for Mowgli, like you said, he would have been dead, and that's why it's called the Tide of Life. Tides of Life.
Tides of not dying.
Yeah, it gives you that nice heal there. But it's a good baiter, too, because it makes Mowgli untargetable. So he can actually bait a lot of abilities correctly here if he's able to time it correctly.
Ruiz will use the Ethereal Pulse to clear away while running away from a Riki shot. Oh, there's a gank attack being set up top, but Team Queso are trying to gank the gank. Qlash will go in first, challenging Mowgli, and they should get Yavex, but the rest of the team will follow through. Ibuchichi's going to shut down Zefta. There's so much damage. Ring of the Fiends. Has Mowgli done it? They've got the speed boost from it and a full disengage.
Mowgli, MVP there, using the Ring of Fear to escape and using the water wall to dissuade them from chasing. What a great play. But one thing I'm worried about, Morin. 4.6K, he's one of the most fed in the game right now, and they are not responding or doing anything to shut down Lelu. Again, are they forgetting, just as talking more, look at the damage. Are they forgetting how powerful Lelu is? They gotta focus this guy. They cannot let him farm up and get developed.
Are they forgetting what happened last game?
Yeah, probably.
Lelu dominating that game on the margin, not a character that farms nearly as well as Amora.
Yeah, definitely. They're gonna go ahead and try to rush this dragon here. Is Team Queso aware? Oh, they're gonna actually trade the tower for it,
but they will challenge. They actually will challenge the dragon as well.
Oh.
They at least have vision of it, memorized, checked it out, scoped it out, decided it wasn't worth it.
I remember the last time Lelu did this build last week. He got that Morn with the Qlash Sanctity and Bow of Slaughter. This is when he starts to go online now. So they need to build anti-regeneration items to counter against that.
Yeah, that's full push in. Ibuchichi on the flank. Tides of Life don't come through in time. They might get the trade. They do. Rapid with 1 kill. Mowgli separated from him, though. And he's going to probably go down to Ibuchichi. Oh, the flicker. It's so cheeky. He can't get him. No, he didn't catch up. Very nicely done.
And look at that, Lelu takes care of Zefta there. He tried to rotate to try to get the kill, and then now they're going to push mid.
Yeah, the mid tower. The rest of Qlash died in the meantime, but Mowgli did a really good job.
Yeah,
the tower will fall.
He definitely did a good job. Bought himself some time and saved himself. But look at Lelu. It's just popping off right now. They have to address this. Yeah. He has too much lifesteal at this point, and they have to make sure that they have an answer for this Lelu.
A pause coming through from Qlash Spain. Technical issues, which definitely would be a shame to be affecting them. But let's take a moment to talk about their tactical issues. Because there have been a few things going wrong. In particular, I'd like to talk about Zefta, who isn't finding very much in the mid lane.
Yeah, he actually rotated up to help out Random there because Random was falling pretty low. And then Lelu just catches him off guard. You guys didn't see it, but I watched the mini-map there. Takes him out and blows him up. And that's something that Zefta, he needs to leverage Liliana's range and try to burst down Lelu. But it's going to be really hard because he has a Bow of Slaughter. They have nothing to counter that right now. And if Liliana can't... And you notice Whis has the same build as well. But less attack speed. He built Gilded Greaves instead of the attack speed boot there. So that gives Lelu, again, much more damage per second there.
Of course, that standard ADC build is Qlash Sanctity into Bow of Slaughter. You don't normally rush Bow of Slaughter quite that quickly, but it will give them both that automatic lifesteal. But the lifesteal is only good to keep you alive if you're doing enough damage that it gives you life. that you're stealing damage to steal life.
Yeah, because Morin's passive Precision gives him up to 26% lifesteal. Bow of Slaughter gives 10%. And then when you activate it, 90% lifesteal. So, and honestly, it's really hard to kill him.
Ibuchichi. Not hard to kill him.
Yeah. This is where Qlash has to pop off right now because Zephyrs will start to fall off. Late game, he just becomes, he doesn't do enough damage. Oh my goodness.
Redemption!
My God.
Count your lucky stars because there are a lot of them. The night sky is covered in them. He barely escaped.
Just finished Ranked. Don't forget that Lelu has sprint boots on this Morn. He can actually chase people down and kill them. He's a running Gatling gun at this point.
My God, Rui's got lucky. In the meantime, he needs to get back because Qlash are just diving this high ground and they get it. Knight needs to bail, but Qlash have done it, taking out the high ground for only 2 deaths. I think they might accept that as a positive trade.
Definitely here. Let's see what Team Queso are they going to rush Darkslayer or are they going to try to go for Enraged Abyssal? If they rush the Darkslayer, then Qlash needs to take the Enraged Abyssal Dragon.
They're doing it already. Qlash are a step ahead. They're focusing on the Dragon. The second it comes up in range, Team Queso know this. They'll have to take a 2v3 fight. Qlash don't want to take the risk of there being 5 players. They'll drop off, clear wave.
Yeah, definitely. That was a very smart move there. But Darkslayer is going to give them a lot of damage. Looks like they're going to rotate and take the Enraged Abyssal Dragon because they want to end this game on this push here. And that is so dangerous. You're going to give Lelu the Dark Blessing. He's going to have the buff from the Enraged Abyssal Dragon. They have a Drake on their side as well. Oof, this is very scary for Qlash right now.
Qlash are stalling out too much.
Yeah, they are. Like I said, it's a mental game. They're giving up too much map control when they don't have to. And that's when I know they're going to lose, because last game they did the same thing. There's no reason to give up map control because you give your opponent the mental edge. They know that you're being passive, so guess what? They're going to play more aggressive. They're going to assert more map dominance, and they're going to keep getting fed and farm themselves up. And this is something that Qlash cannot do. This is why map control is so important, because it's vision, and it's a mental effect. Because if you feel like you have more control of the map, then you can do more. basically.
Thanks to the super minion wave that Lelu just had to clear, they know where Team Queso are not. So they should be trying to fight everywhere as a 5-man unit where they know Lelu isn't, because he's 100% up top.
Yeah, look at Random here. Can he kill Lelu by himself though? He has a Dark Blessing.
Death from up.
Might not work. Oh
He
my
can't
goodness.
do it.
Yeah,
he can't finish it.
He can't. He should have done that. He has a Dark Blessing, he has a Bow of Slaughter, and Memorize is right next to him. There's no way he could have killed him. Even if he did kill him, he's gonna come back right to life.
And Mowgli now needs to stall out for the tower. There's the Drake working away.
My
Ibuchichi
goodness.
can't finish the kills, but it's close. And the high grounds themselves are now properly under threat. The mid will be the first to fall. Shock and off for the desperate clear attempt, but the wind cuffs, they interrupt it. Redemption doesn't get his full ult off, and 2 high grounds are down.
Man, this could be game here. You have a pretty half-health Drake coming up, and Lelu pretty healthy as well.
Definitely should be game. Mowgli backing off with no HP. Zapped into the front lines, can't find the damage. There's the core under threat. Team Queso, what a end here and now. And they've got the damage. The wind cuffs for the ethereal pulse. They lose wave, but Yavix just tanks the core. They've got Lelu to focus it down, and it will be game number 2 to TQ.
Wow, that was such a crazy play there by Lelu. He scaled up into the late game. No one did anything. Let him do his thing. He farmed. He was the most fed the entire game. Finished Qlash Sanctity, Bow of Slaughter, the rank breaker, and that was pretty much GG. But then again, Team Queso, so good macro map control. I mean, that is why they are such a great team, because they take the objectives, they take the map control, and then from there, they're able